Hey guys, these are some simple designs that you can just hit pause if you want to copy exactly. And let's get started having fun doing some watercolors. So the first card we're going to do is a banner, like a ribbon banner. So you can decide how many flaps you want. In this statement, you want to have 3 flaps to say Happy Father's Day, or you can just make one big flap that just says it all in one, if that's easier. So you're gonna have the folds in front, and then you're gonna have it kind of come from behind, and you can kind of make it like a snake where it kind of comes down on the left and then comes down on the right to continue that. So in coloring this, I didn't mix up the colors ahead of time, and it didn't quite all get the same color, but you can just add on more layers of paint like I did. So the back flaps you want to make a little darker to make it look a little more three-dimensional, like they're further behind on the page. And I even added a little extra shadow to make that pop out even more, just under the edge there. Once that is dry, then you can do your lettering. So I use these gel pens because I didn't make the ink super dark. It didn't show up as much, so I went and drew over it again a second time, and that still wasn't bold enough for me. So then I did faux brush lettering, and every time a downstroke would happen, I doubled that thickness. So that's what I'm doing here. So I was pleased with it. I did all the same font instead of kind of all caps and lowercase cursive. So I think it looks really good. The next one we have, I'm using a masking pen. You can even use like white crayon or something else if you want, if you don't have a masking pen. You could also just avoid those, like draw the actual hearts lightly and then avoid those as you're doing the wash. But the masking pen is really fast. And here I'm just using the residue eraser to pull the masking off. It really saves your hands from getting beat up. So I just used micron pen here to draw the message, and using the line to connect between the hearts is really fun. You can just practice that a little bit to get that good. And then this one is like a tie theme. I drew the tie in pencil and I loved it, and when I did it for real, I just didn't like the look of it, so I decided to make it a kind of a organic with some extra sketchy lines on there, and I was happier with that. So for this one, I'm wetting it down first and doing wet in wet technique. Unfortunately, I didn't let the micron pen dry, so there's a little bit of bleeding with that, but it's all good. You can't even tell once you get the blue on. I wanted to paint the hearts, so I did around those first, and then I came back and did the red. Now, this one is my least favorite of the designs, but it's fine. It's just like a little medal that you'd get, ribbon, yeah, I'm not sure why I don't like it as much, but it's still cute. So I added some red and then just some water to kind of have that be darker on the left and the right, and ended up kind of bringing back a shadow underneath as well. The hardest part right here, I was trying to figure out, I was wanting to get a light gray, and I just couldn't achieve that with the colors that I was using in this palette, so it ended up being a little neutral brown shadow instead of gray shadow, which is totally fine. Still wasn't loving it, so I colored in the border another, like, this is kind of like a retro colored card. I really tend to go blues and greens. Those are kind of my favorite. Because it was a little bit off center and with the shadow on the left, the right side just felt a little empty even after I made these dots, so I added some text. So as you're making your cards, just feel free to add extra hearts and smiles and whatever, just fill up blank space if you feel it's not balanced. And this one was really fun. It's a simplification of one of our past projects inside the club. We're just doing a little frame and then we'll put text on the inside. So you'll just want to repeat the pattern like around the side as you have the paint in your brush, and then take the paint off. It took me a couple times to get the spacing right on this one, so working in pencil is great, and then coming back in with your final pen. Again, I'm using micron pens here, but you can use like fine point tip Sharpies. and doing some cursive. So feel free to pause any of these videos and just completely copy the design I have. It was really fun to create these for Father's Day. Feel free to do them and share this with anybody you think might want some inspiration to help make some fun Father's Day cards.